Hello and welcome to the Worst Movie Ever Made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind, to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Hockman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci and Bob Hassick. Hey guys, how are you and why are we doing this?
I'm pissed off because this movie sucked, and we're going to talk about why it sucked. Bob?
We needed some combination of big movies, right? Because it's the last episode of our big movie season, and we picked Alien and Predator, two very big movies.
Mm-hmm. Two very big movies.
And this is what Rob suggested, right? Rob suggested Alien versus Predator.
This patronizing piece of shit movie.
I try not to spy on Rotten Tomatoes too much, but I was leery when I first heard the suggestion, so I peeked. And I saw how low the score was, so I'm out of the competition. But I saw how bad it was, and I said, okay, let's give this movie a go. And I'm not quite sure what we're going to come up with, but I'm anxious to give it a shot with our tests.
I think it is bad. I'm somewhere between Bob and Rob here. I think it's bad. I don't think it's as good as Bob thinks it is, and I don't think it's as bad as Rob thinks it is. So we'll see how this goes.
It's no Fast and Furious. It's no Fast 9, for sure.
Right, but
thank God.
Yeah, seriously. All right, well, why don't we see what the YouTube clientele thinks of this one?
Stockholm Syndrome, that's the summary.
There we go.
You know what? I don't care what the haters say. I think Catwoman was great.
You'll see what I mean when I say Stockholm Syndrome. Okay, number one. OMG, epic trailer. I remember being so hyped up for this movie when it came out. I loved the first one since I was 3, so an epic battle years from now between the two aliens was long in the making. I was so happy to see it come true. Nothing beats the original Predator, but I always thought Predator 2 was good too, and then this one was even more fascinating. I'm a diehard Predator fan for life. Next comment. This movie may have its major flaws, but the fact that they're combining two of the most dangerous extraterrestrial life forms ever created and putting them at war is enough for me to have a nerdgasm instantly. Next one. I still love the movie. It has its flaws, yes, but it's still on my list of favorite movies. Next comment. I don't think this movie needs much unneeded hate all the time. Everyone calls it a monstrosity and an abomination, but I disagree. Personally, I love the film. Yes, it has flaws, but it also has a lot of potential. It even has the great line, "You are one ugly mother," then it's like blanked out, because fucker. How cool is that? Next comment. One of the best sci-fi film I've ever seen. 10 out of 10.
Film.
Next comment. Pretty much every crossover movie gets a negative review, but I still think they were all pretty badass, including Freddy vs. Jason, Batman vs. Superman, and of course, Alien vs. Predator. And then, this is my favorite one. This is like a joke one that someone wrote. I always laugh when the three predators are walking in the temple and then realize the humans found their weapons. They stop and look at each other, then start running. LOL. Predator, I told you. How many times did I tell you? Don't leave the weapons in the coffee table. The second predator. Well, if the safe wasn't full of skulls, I would put them there. And how the hell was I supposed to know the human could read? The Stockholm Syndrome is like, it's an abusive relationship. Like, I know it has a lot of flaws, but like it was sweet to me, you know? Like
yeah, exactly.
Stockholm Syndrome is a good place to go with that too, because I did feel like I was being held hostage for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Hour and 40 minutes, but who's counting?
Yeah. Test number 1, the worst of its kind.
Cool.
Okay, so Bob, you said it, but Predator and Alien were both awesome movies on their own. When you put them together, you just get some kind of murky brown color. Yep. The first we have here is Predator with Arnold, and it was an 80%, which I don't think is enough. That's a candidate for me for good movie of the season, some season coming up. We're watching something else this season, but
it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Alien with Sigourney Weaver in 98.
As it should be.
Yeah, that's an awesome movie.
You know how great the visual graphics were in that movie? I did an article on this recently. The effects and the visuals were so good that when rendered to 4K, they crash Google phones today. Because they can't process the imagery.
Probably. Wow. That's pretty crazy. Riddick with Vin Diesel, our old buddy. 57. Yeah.
Okay.
He's part of our family now for sure.
Family.
Absolutely. Hellboy with Ron Perlman in 81. I don't think it deserves an 81. I don't think it's that good.
Nah.
I don't know. I didn't see it, but I love Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
I do too. I like him. Yeah.
Little Nicky was better.
I doubt it.
I'm gonna disagree. You might have noticed all these scores are pretty hefty, but Underworld with Kate Beckinsale, not so much, a 31%. So when you average those together, you get a what was it? I don't have it written here because I'm dumb. But it's so okay. Wait, I can do the math. If you average these together, you get a 69.4.
Nice.
And Bob can't guess what AVP got on Rotten Tomatoes. So, Rob, if you want to guess, you're welcome to it.
I'm going to go.
You can take the win by default.
No, that's fine. I'm going to go with the YouTube comments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to weigh in my own subjectivity to it and just split it down the middle and give it a 50%.
Okay. A 22.
Oh, okay. I still lost.
Very
Bob
bad.
lost by default, and I still lost.
I tried to warn you.
That's fine.
I know what you do. You go by the YouTube commenters.
Yeah.
Score.
I was shocked to see that score. I didn't think it would get that low.
No, I didn't either. I think it's deserving. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I give it a 30, something like that. Anyway, it's a negative 47.4 and worst of its kind. I'm going to slowly, quietly phase out negative percent because I kind of hate it. So this time I just said negative 47.4.
It's an absolute value from 0, so it's the same. Like, it's all relative, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to get rid of the percent thing and pretend I never did that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is now jotted down. We're going to compare it to our current season champion later in the episode. But as for now, we'll go to test number 2. A little summary of the movie from all of us in limerick form. This one is called Ain't That a Pitch?
Now ain't that a pitch?
All right, who's going first?
I think it's my turn.
I don't.
Mine's not very good, so here we go. There once was a woman named Alexa Woods. Oh, you didn't know there were characters had names? You should. There's Graham, Maxwell, Sebastian, Adele, Charles, and Rustin. It doesn't matter. They all die quickly. Understood?
That's pretty good. Yeah. Give yourself some credit, Bob.
Yeah. I feel like I never really go second, so I'll go second unless you want.
Right.
Unless you want it for some reason, Rob.
Go for it.
There once was an alien predator and his predator alien competitor. They're both eating humans and business is booming. Add a man bear pig to make it Excelsior.
South Park bingo, so you might win by default on that. All right,
no, you might. Yeah, exactly.
All right. There once was an alien and predator who fought way up in the Arctic sector. The shock cutting was hectic, but the measurements were metric. But boy, oh boy, is the conclusion a non sequitur.
All right. I don't know.
Damn it. I want to give it a tie, but I'm going to go for Rob for originality.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 stars. 4.
I like Chris for the
That's weird. I like mine too. I guess I'll take it with what do you give it, Rob?
Well, because you're being a kind of a cocky jerk about it, I'm going to go 3.5.
I'll go with a 4.
It's a 375.
370.
Okay.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right. Test number 3, the most offensive.
Cool.
And I'll need you. What was that again? And I'll need you. That's what I thought you said. I'm offended.
Right.
Okay, I will not pull that trick again, but I thought it'd be funny. And it allowed for me to win once more. All right. This is a surprisingly inoffensive, I should say, movie, especially as compared to our current season champion. Find out more in the end. A little foreshadowing. So let's get into it and we'll see how you guys feel. Number 1, frightening fellow flight folk with Flash. Yeah. So if you don't know, Alexa Woods is asleep in the jet or whatever on their way, the helicopter, on their way to the tanker that's floating in the ocean on its way to Antarctica. All right, do you follow? And she's asleep, and Graham is not, and Graham decides he's going to take a picture of her.
Yeah.
With his flash on, and it wakes her up, which is weird, creepy, and annoying all in one.
Wasn't that a Frasier episode where he was trying to prove that he was dating like a model who like also studied lizards in the desert, and
they went on the plane together?
he takes a picture in bed, but like the flash pops up and she wakes up and he's, oh, that was nothing. And then you hear, and it's the film under his pillow.
Yeah, I kind of remember that episode. I think they met on the plane though, right?
Yeah.
That's
where they met on the plane. Then he brought her. They hooked up and then they rendezvoused a few more times.
Always funny to me the caliber of women that Frasier's able to pull with that, like that kind of, I don't know, composer mullet he's got in the first couple seasons. It's pretty unbelievable.
I think we've checked a new bingo card square.
Frasier.
We do love that show.
Amount of Frasier, dude. I watch too much Frasier.
It's so funny. Number 2, telling your coworker his kids aren't cute. I don't know if you guys caught that, but he's like showing Graham, the same couple here. Graham is showing Alexa the photos of his kids, and he's trying to use them to lure her into the job. And she's like, they're not that cute.
Yeah.
Do you have I'll wait for an honorable mention. You go ahead, but I think I have another thing involving kids that I want to bring up.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay. I don't know. I don't remember anything else, but we'll see. Right. Number 3, terminating Antarctic transportation and forcing a female to field guide.
Okay.
So
transportation, but wasn't the helicopter ready?
No. Well, so when she originally wanted to leave because she refused to do the job, they would not let her leave Antarctica.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Which, forced labor, kind of weird. Kind of a bad look.
Oh, the whole point of no return thing?
No, not then. So after she gets the no. It definitely was. They were definitely in the town and like, I don't know, going down the mine shaft or some shit, and she was like she got spooked and she was like, I'm out, and they were like, well, you can't leave. We won't put you home. So
right,
it's just kind of shitty. And then she's kind of okay with it. She's like, all right, I guess I'll just like guide you to the temple of death, temple of doom. Number 4, serious, almost sensual study of skull and spine. So Dr. Graham, picks up like somebody whose head was cut off around like, I don't know, the shoulder blades, and it just has their head and some of their vertebrae, and is really excited about it.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
It was almost creepy. All right, Rob, this one's for you.
Okay.
Number 5, wall gunking girls and guys to grow new facehuggers.
I'm into it.
I just don't like that. I know xenomorphs are like hive-minded and not human-minded, but wall gunking anybody, I don't really like it.
Yeah.
Number 6, and this is the last one I have.
Okay.
Imagine this, though. This has been a common theme for the Worst Movie Ever Made podcast lately. Alien race mass genocide. Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're rodents though. They're serpents.
They're serpents. I thought that was weird too. They're not super serpent-like in my estimation, but we do. The Predator does kill them all, except for Mommy.
More than once, yeah, exactly.
But the fact that has happened, I mean, we had the Klinkos, and then we had the Pearls, and now we have the Xenomorphs. It just seems to be a weird theme on. I can't think of any more, but we have at least 3 movies of mass alien genocide.
Yeah,
it's with us. Man. Yeah, is it us or is it movie culture?
Art imitates life imitates art.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, fair.
It's sci-fi canon.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Do you guys want to make any mentions before we throw to our next test?
Yes. Speaking of predators, there's a spot when I don't know their names because I don't care, but she's talking about the picture of like his kid, and like the other guy nudges her like, what about pictures of other people's kids?
What is that?
It just gave me a really bad. He says that. He says, "What about pictures of other people's kids?"
He does not.
I think he was like
That's a
alluding
really
to like
weird
you
thing
know
to say.
other people showing pictures of their child or whatever. But like it's like the way he said it, like they could have finessed that line a little bit better.
Oh, I missed that. Oh, that's so
Yeah,
good.
Same. That's gross. Maybe
Yeah.
I heard it and just didn't want to hear it. You know.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's the same thing.
All right, test number 4: the worst dialogue.
Cool.
It's the worst dialogue.
Number 5.
I always forget to tab over to that one. My bad.
Got you. Well, speaking of setting up, the setup.
The setup. Let's do it.
Reminiscent of the Aztecs. Another tells me it's probably Cambodian. What they all agree on is that the smooth side is definitively Egyptian.
I think your experts are right.
Which one?
All of them.
Meaning what exactly?
This pyramid contains the features of all 3 cultures. This might be the first pyramid ever built.
But built by whom?
By the first civilization.
Thank you.
But how could anyone possibly build a pyramid out here?
Ancient maps show Antarctica free of ice. It's likely the continent was once habitable.
Well, I can't tell you who built it, but if I could take a sample from it, then I can tell you how old it is.
Well, Dr. Miller, I'm offering to put you right next to this thing.
What caused the heat bloom?
I don't know.
Where exactly on the ice is this?
Bovatoya Island. But it's not on the ice. It's 2,000 feet below it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Question. Wasn't
Yeah.
this ancient civilization destroyed by the predators when the xenomorphs were too much to handle?
Most of
Was
it
that
was,
part of the
yes.
story? Yeah, so
Most
they were
of
on top. They were on top of the temple in the flashback when xenomorphs, like by the thousands, are climbing up the temple and they're shooting their like weird spear guns or whatever at them, and then they do the bloop, 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 and like blow up the wrist bomb, causing like a nuclear explosion that takes out the temple, I would assume.
Yeah.
And they're in it, unless there were multiple temples. I don't know. Anyway, point is, there shouldn't be evidence for the ancient Egyptians, the Cambodians, whatever, to use to take inspiration from to build their temples. So
Yeah.
I didn't really understand that.
Also, if the temple was nuked, how are the hieroglyphs so easily readable as well?
Yeah, I really didn't understand it at all because they're saying it's 2,000 feet below the ice, and maybe that's why it's still intact. It's all bullshit. It's
Yeah.
all dumb.
Yep.
Okay, number 4. This one's called Ditch.
Is he a friend of yours?
That's my dad's. My father trained most of the pilots down here.
Just past the PSR.
Oh, damn! I wish you got a picture.
Of what?
The PSR. I wish he'd called it out before we passed it.
The PSR is the point of safe return. It means we've used up half our fuel, so we can't turn back.
Right, but if something went wrong, we could land, presumably.
We could ditch.
Yeah, ditch.
But the temperature of the water would kill us in 3 minutes.
Tough chick. That's what we're supposed to get, right?
Yeah.
That's what that clip was. Like, there's turbulence. She's telling you that if the helicopter goes down, they're dead. The guy, Graham, is supposed to be really naive. He doesn't know what a PSR is. Would that be a reaction if you didn't know what the PSR is? Because I didn't. And I wasn't, like, thinking I'd love to get a picture of it before I found out. Andy did call it out.
Yeah. Sorry, that's my kid in the background. I'm just going to lower my mic for a second.
Oh, you're good. Do you want to throw it to the next clip?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Number
3.
3. Teenagers.
He's marking himself.
What?
Ancient warriors would mark themselves with the blood of their kin. It's a rite of passage. It's just starting to make sense. I think this is a manhood ritual. The humanoid ones. They've been sent here to prove that they're worthy to become adults.
You're saying they're what? Teenagers?
That's why they didn't carry those guns with them to begin with. They have to earn them.
I was a teenage dirtbag baby.
I don't know that you can, even if you're an archaeologist who's supreme expert, if you can extrapolate all that.
Yeah.
And if you did, I might, as Lexa, turn to you and say, yeah, but these are aliens, not humans. So,
yeah,
it kind of goes out the window. Ancient warriors used to do this. I don't think they have any knowledge of what's going on.
I have a major issue with like any historical like anthropology or archaeology because like they'll see like a bowl that's used for like a mortar and pestle for like grinding spices or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they'll make these huge logical leaps. Like I'm talking about like a real historian, and they're like, you know, that after working precisely 7.32 hours at their job, they'd come home and then they'd have one or two sips of tepid milk, and then they'd get right back to work with their mortar and pestle. I was like, how do you know that? How do you fucking know that? It's not written down. You're just like making shit up to fill the blanks, and it's always bothered me.
Yeah,
that's totally fair. How do you know what they're grinding in that mortar and pestle?
Yeah.
Maybe they're grinding up some herb or something.
Yeah,
relaxing. You know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
They just like the sound of it going, cluck, 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 you know.
Number 2. 2. I just didn't want to hear you make that sound anymore. That's what's called prison.
When that door opens, we're dead.
Not if we set things right.
What do you mean?
This pyramid, it's like a prison. We took the guards' guns, and now the prisoners are running free. To restore order, the guards need their guns. When that door opens, we're gonna give that thing his gun back.
Are you crazy? During a big game hunt, the animal's been hunted. Don't arm the hunters.
They're not hunting us. We're in the middle of a war. It's time to pick a side.
We are on our side.
We have to consider the possibility that we might not make it out of here. But we have to make sure those serpents don't reach the surface. Because if they do, everything everywhere could die.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
He very quickly changed his tune on that one.
Where did
Very
they come up
quickly.
with this stuff? Yeah.
Everything everywhere could die. It's just so gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, the writing is it's bad because it is run of the mill, you know.
Yeah.
It's grandiose.
It is that as well. That's true. All right, number 1. Okay, so the funny part of this is towards the first half, so pay special attention, but it runs like probably a minute long. So this one's called DVD.
Got a snare roll for you. Ready for this one?
Oh, yeah.
It's a new one. It's new.
Ooh.
Ready. You know what? Fuck it.
I love it.
I like it.
What's this one called, Chris?
DVD.
Right.
What have you found, Max?
It's a shaft to another level. Looks like there's another room down there. Let's move to that lower room, Max. Moving on, everyone. Woods.
Did I clip this one right? I have like a 3-minute clip. I just realized.
Stay here. No. So you stay
Is that
with
it?
the team with you.
No.
Catalog everything. Professor.
I might have fucked up.
Well, let's see.
3-minute clip. Holy shit. We can fill in the space with our talking.
Should I just keep it going?
Yeah, why not? Let's just keep talking. Okay, so
Directly below the sacrificial chamber.
oh, we're directly below the sacrificial chamber.
Is this right? Am I?
No.
Oh. What did I do?
I don't think so. I don't know. It could have been me. I'm looking. Yeah, no, I gave you like a minute.
I can see where DVD fits in here somewhere. Maybe. I'll see.
Yeah.
The sarcophagus.
Oh,
Of course.
it's the sarcophagus. Yeah.
The
Just a
sarcophagus.
long count. The Aztec calendar. It's some kind of combination.
Yeah, that part's cheesy, but
Ace.
I think it's right after this.
The important part is finding out whose fault this is.
I just looked at the text. I sent you 1:05.
Oh. So it's my fault for sure.
1904.
Yeah. Whoops.
This is like early 1950s sci-fi dialogue.
10/10/2004.
I really hate. I actually thought about.
Sure, this is gonna work.
Like awful exposition shit.
Yeah. It's like obvious discoveries that they're acting like are rocket science discoveries.
Or just making shit up as they go along to make the narrative go forward.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I clearly fucked up there. So, Chris, you want to explain the clip you intended to bring in?
Well, right after they open the sarcophagus, right? The guns like open, but they don't know what they are yet. And Dr. Graham is like leaning over, and I forget who's. It was like it finding. I don't know. I'm trying to think of somebody. Why can't I think of anybody? How about the? It's like finding the Marx Brothers DVD set or something. You know, it's like the joke is that finding some old guys like DVDs or so, because it's like an old ancient temple, and they found guns or whatever. So
yeah,
you know, it's just a really terrible joke, and then it goes on. And now I'm confusing it with other clips. I'm sorry, but this one's wrong, not on me.
My bad. That was my bad. I sincerely apologize. If you want to send us hate mail, you can go to theworstmovieevermade.com, click the link,
please,
and give us a piece of your mind. Okay,
please.
Yeah. Well, sick shirt though, Rob.
Thank you. Yeah, it's Rocco and Spunky.
Yeah, it's really nice. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, why don't you redeem yourself with your ad read?
All right. Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by Rob's Magic Marvel Corner. Rob is a 34-year-old man who doesn't like joy. But after making his love for the Fast and Furious franchise apparent, Chris and Bob wonder why he doesn't like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is pretty much exactly the same thing, but with robots or something. Join us in Season 9 of The Worst Movie Ever Made as Rob will watch and review every single movie from the MCU in order, week after week, before he blows his brains out. Will he enjoy the movies? Probably. Will he enter a deep existential depression upon realizing that he's been missing out on this particular brand of quality entertainment for 17 years? Also yes. So tune in for next season and get your fill of Rob's Magic Marvel Corner. Friends will become enemies, enemies will become friends, hot dogs will be consumed at 3 a.m., and nothing in life will ever be the same.
Very nice. Consider yourself redeemed, sir.
Yeah, so I'm teasing a little thing. So I've never watched any Marvel movie ever. I have nothing. I don't hate them outwardly. I just don't really. It doesn't do anything for me. So I will find myself watching all 31, soon to be 33 Marvel movies when the Marvels and Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3 come out. That'll make 33 movies. I'm gonna try watching them. I'm starting now. We have a couple weeks. That'll give me a little buffer so I can stay 1 week ahead at least. And
nice.
Instead of my alternate ending, I'm gonna retire that bit, and I want to give Chris and Bob 3 rapid fire questions each or something like that, and we're just gonna bing bang boom. I give you my thoughts on the movie, and we'll
like I'm assuming that Bob and I get to ask you 3 rapid fire questions.
It's gonna be the same
movie in question.
Yeah, so I want what I want to do is I want to format the same 3 questions from each of you each week, just so we can compare them, kind of like the way we compare the movies in the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, did
So
you like
far-
it? Yes or no? How'd you feel about blank? You know,
Hey, so far, Chris and Bob agree on the good movies at Marvel and the bad movies at Marvel.
So far.
Okay.
That is
So
true.
far.
So I'm the tiebreaker, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you're the columnist, so
You're the
I
time
think you
maker.
have you
I
hold
probably
the
should say
heaviest
this on
hammer.
air, but I do. I have a gig right now where I do lots of pop culture and movie writing, and a lot of it's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I've written like 75 articles so far, and I have not seen a single movie.
And then he threw the sword at the villain,
And
and
he got
the
lit off.
villain got angry. All right, test number 5, the worst production.
Cool.
Okay, I had a hard time with this one because I didn't hate this movie as much as I wanted to. So at first I'm thinking they developed characters that didn't end up mattering anyway.
That's
and
right.
I thought that was the worst production. And I'm like, well, that was a poor choice, but at the same time, they didn't develop them. So who cares? It was about, so here's what I read. So basically, like, if you develop characters and then make it all about the characters, you're not going to satisfy all the people that want to just see aliens and predators go at it.
True.
And if you don't develop characters and all you have is aliens versus predators going at each other for 90 minutes, it's overkill and you've wasted your time. So this film did the best they could to balance the two. But unfortunately, what they made was, and here's my tagline, a PG-13 alien movie.
Yeah.
That is too true.
Counterpoint, though, Jaws was great, Twisters were great, and Sharknado was also pretty fucking great. So, you can have the best of both worlds if you really focus your energy.
You can if you have a good director behind the piece, I'm guessing.
Sharknado sucks.
So in the PG-13 version, and by the way, this was the unrated version that we watched. I don't know if you knew that. They didn't have any blood in the PG-13 movie. Did you guys notice the blood in this movie? Let me rephrase that: the human blood.
Right. I mean, obviously the alien.
I
blood
watched it on I streamed it just because I wanted the captions. There was one scene where the guy was like laying in the snow, and he looks up and you see the swipe, and you see like a little splat of blood on the ice, but you don't like see it.
Right, but did you notice it was early 2000s CGI blood?
I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice that either.
In my opinion, that made it one of the worst movies, sci-fi alien movies I've ever seen, because they couldn't even bother to use the real the Caro syrup and food coloring blood.
Yeah.
That's really dumb.
That's really bad.
Yeah, I mean, that pisses me off a little bit.
If you watch an alien movie and there's not a blood drip, a real live filmed blood drip in the movie, then give me a break. What are you doing it for? Because all they had was CGI blood.
Might as well have
if it doesn't have blood dripping, it better have Bill Paxton, and this one has neither.
Yeah,
so
neither.
So I am also upset about that. But yeah, PG-13 alien, not the genre of alien movies, but the franchise of alien movies.
Yes, exactly. Yes, because I want to say the first one was R. The second one had to be.
Oh, it
based on
absolutely
its gore.
Yeah,
and that's what makes it like, I don't know. It's just, and the Predator movie was R.
Same with Predator.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
There's no perceivable
100%.
threat if there's no perceivable violence. It's just like
I'm not a big proponent of gore, even though I like it sometimes. And in those original movies, it was appropriate for the shock value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you watch a guy's spine and skull get ripped out, partially on screen, partially off screen, it makes you cringe. And that adds to the effect of the movie. This one just didn't have that.
The only time that I felt that was, again, the wall gunking. The wall gunking is nasty, but it's
it was
not
nasty.
bloody.
It was nasty. It was not R-rated, but it was nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, and the blonde, short-haired woman had the thing like jump through her chest. That must have been CGI blood.
It was
coming
CGI.
up into her vest.
It
Yeah.
was. Watch it again. You'll see it in a second.
I'm not going to watch it again, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. You're not going to watch it again? Why won't you watch it again? I'm just curious.
Yeah, why not?
It wasn't good. It's
not according to Bob.
Well, I'll get into the catch-all because I feel like there's. Well, I'll get into it later.
All right. Well, for now, then we'll throw it to test number 6, our last test, the worst acting, and you know what that means.
All right.
All right. Well, I only have 3 because after those 3, that's all of the dialogue that this movie had. So
okay, fair enough.
Number 1, that gun.
Come in, Rousseau.
Rousseau!
Tommy, come in.
Is there anything you didn't tell me about this place?
Nothing. Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, whatever it is, we're not prepared for it. We're gonna round up the rest of the team and get to the surface. Let's move.
What are you doing?
Job. Yours is over.
My job is over when everyone is back on the boat safely.
Our job.
And that gun doesn't change anything.
Nice.
Super cheese. Yeah, I don't know. She's not the worst. She's certainly not the best. And I thought those briefcase guns were like, we'll get into that a little bit more in the catch-all, but yeah, just I don't know, if you're pulling like a automatic weapon on me, probably not going to be quite as bold as she was. That wasn't realistic in my view.
Yeah.
Because you don't know why the person has a gun.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't part of the mission. So when they pull out guns, I'm at least, 10% afraid that they're going to shoot me with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I'm going to be as strong a character as she was. I mean, they pull out the guns and she's like, I don't care. Like, you're not going to shoot me. Part of me is like, I do care. What if you shoot me?
They might shoot you. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to die, so I'm probably not going to. I'm probably not going to be so strong-willed.
Minor details, yeah.
Yeah, true. And like I said, she's not the worst, but it does get worse from here. I can't wait for the third clip, but we got to do the second to do it justice. This one is number 2. Sorry.
Sebastian.
Help me, Max.
I'm gonna get you out of there.
It's too late. It's inside me.
I'm gonna get you out of here.
You can't.
No! 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 I have to help him.
Max! They mustn't reach the surface. They mustn't reach the surface.
I knew.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Speaking of shitty sequels, this gives me Jaws 3 Governor vibes.
Governor! Are you there, Governor? Talk to me, Governor!
But is it inside me?
Yeah.
It's inside me.
It's inside me. Help me, Lex. Help me. It's inside me. You can't do anything. Just make sure it doesn't get to the surface. It's so bad. As bad as that was, as I said, I was very excited to get to this next one, which is number 3. Bob gave us a little teaser in the trailer that will pop out tomorrow. This one's called Doctor.
I hit that son of a bitch dead on. It didn't stop.
And then slow. Hey, Farida. And then he flinched. Farida. I am not a soldier, but I think you should calm it down now. Really, we're not dead yet, okay? Well, thanks, Professor. Actually, it's Doctor, and you're welcome, okay? What?
Chris.
Why did he turn around and scream what in his face?
I don't know, but Chris, we both have backgrounds in the hospitality industry. It's like when you call a chef the cook and they have to correct you because they're the chef. If I'm insulting anybody that Chris works with, I apologize, but that was always a pet peeve of mine.
My head chef is staring at me right now.
Yeah,
I knew that. I knew that
Thanks.
scene would make.
Thanks, Rob.
I knew that scene would make worse acting. I knew that I knew the yelling would make it.
It makes no sense. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
I don't understand. He's like, Professor, all pissed off, and the professor, for some reason, after trying to calm him down, then needles him and says, I'm actually a doctor. Which, I guess, because he was needled, he was like, I'll fight you right now. It didn't really come off that way, though, when he was like, what? Just in his face. And then they cut away real quick. It's super, super bad. But yeah, wearing your ass as a hat or whatever was the thing that another interaction between these two that Bob, you just got to check out the trailer. It's super funny. That's what we have for worst acting. I don't have anything else because, like I said, there were no other scenes with humans in them. So as for now, we will go to fact or no fact.
Bob is a liar. He will lie to confuse us, but he will also mix lies with the truth to attack us. His attack is psychological and powerful.
All right, for those of you tuning in for just Alien versus Predator content, this is your first time hearing fact or no fact. We're looking for the fact. Out of these 5 possible facts, one of them is real, and the other ones are not. And Chris and Rob are going to try to fight it out and see who can guess the right one.
And Chris will get it.
And Chris thinks he will get it.
I almost always lose, so...
Yeah, same.
And there's something... So there's a bit of... There's a bit of self-awareness in this episode, which I'm calling AVP JFK KFC.
AVP KFK.
It was JFK
KFC. Okay.
JFKFC.
Okay.
Right. Because some of these facts are pointing to our own podcast previous episodes.
Oh, cool.
Right. Shit.
All right, ready. Here we go. The first one. This is the 15th sequel that our podcast has reviewed. Good movies included.
Wow.
I should really start listening to our show.
All right. This is the 3rd movie our podcast has reviewed by the same director.
Oh.
All right. This is the 3rd movie our podcast has reviewed that starred Lance Henriksen. Excuse me.
Okay.
That was the lead old guy who was sick.
Starred.
Yeah. This is the first movie. All right. This is the first movie that Ewan Bremer starred in since Trainspotting. He was the Irish guy. And this is the only movie our podcast has ever reviewed that has a black female lead.
Well, I'm calling bullshit because we watched Catwoman.
No.
So that's gone.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you for that.
Sequels. I had to think about the sequels, but like I don't know off the top of my head, we have Jaws 3D, we have Son of the Mask, we have Armageddon 2, we have Dante's Peak 3, Jaws
Batman
3D,
and Robin.
Batman and Robin. So, we're close.
Got a bunch.
That's like 8 sequels, 4 of which I just made up. So that's close. 3rd movie reviewed by the same director. I'm really bad with like director names and shit, so I don't know. Lance Henriksen and the Trainspotting guy since Trainspotting. I'm I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the 15th sequel because I feel like we have Fast and Furious 9. That's another sequel we did. I'm just trying to like scroll through the feed right now.
Yeah.
But, Terminator 2. Yeah, 15th sequel. If it's not 15, it's close. So I'm just gonna go with my gut on that.
It's the third movie starring Lance Henriksen because he was in the movie we did Aliens for a Good Movie podcast, and he was in Hard Target as the bad guy, and he's in this one. So whether or not you know it, Bob, it's number 3.
Did we do Alien?
You didn't do Aliens.
What?
We didn't do Aliens.
You didn't do Aliens.
What? Did I really didn't.
No, we didn't. No, because I haven't watched it like for the show. I haven't watched that movie in like a few years.
God damn it! I was so sure.
This is the most bullshit episode of Fact or No Fact so far.
Well, am I right anyway? Because he definitely was in Hard Target, right?
Because everyone's making shit up as they go along. Fucking Dante's Peak 3. All right.
Yeah.
If you
know
don't
Dante's
count,
Revenge.
Even if you count sequels and prequels, we're not even past 11 or 12.
Okay.
So it is not a 15th sequel, but we're
It's
very
close.
fucking close. We are very fucking close.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Awesome.
This is the third movie by the same director.
Oh.
He did Soldier, and he did Hard Target, I think. Wait,
so he just likes Lance Henriksen then.
No, I think I got my first one wrong. I don't think it was Soldier. I don't think it was Hard Target, but it definitely was Soldier. Now I can't think of the other one he did. But anyway, I researched this one. This is the third one we've done with him. It's only our second movie with Lance Henriksen. He did Hard Target, so it was you were close, Chris. You were close.
When I remembered him in Hard Target, I was like, what other movie? And then I was like, oh, we did Aliens.
Ewan Bremer was in tons of movies between Train Spotting and this one.
He's in Gladiator.
And you totally caught me, Rob. Yes, Catwoman was the other black female lead.
Yeah.
Yes. You scared me with that.
So neither of you won, but goddamn it, you tried.
Yeah, we really tried. Huh?
Everybody loses. I mean, I was close with the sequels, though. I mean, 11.
You were close.
Same order of magnitude.
You should have seen me going through them. Like, holy shit, we've done a lot of sequels.
I can't believe you guys didn't remember episode 71, Aliens.
Yeah, it was right after Dante's Revenge, part 3 of the Dante's Peak trilogy.
Was that 71B or 71D?
All right, let's throw it to the catch-all.
Cool.
If you've caught one, you've caught them all. Welcome to the catch-all.
Okay, tropey action to the max. Starting with opening scene in 1904, a guy runs from predator. Predator becomes prey. This is we'll go over a little more trope as we go along, but she can, and for whatever reason, is climbing an ice wall all alone.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Why?
And while she was at it, she heard her phone ring, but she didn't hear the helicopter.
Speaking of the helicopter, is it a really bad idea to like land a helicopter where it might set off an avalanche where the person you're trying to contact is climbing right below you?
I didn't think about that, but that's a really good point.
Like if you sneeze in the wrong spot, you're fucking dead. You know?
All right, we're gonna have to try to convince this woman to come with us. Now land the helicopter right here. All right, we never came. There was too much chop. All right, another getting the crew together scene, only this one sucked. Yeah. I always love those. But this one sucked. Like really Con Air, which I'd like to do on the pod. I don't care if we do it for a good movie or a bad movie. I just want to do it.
It depends on what mood you're in at the time you watch it, because I have mixed reviews for that movie, depending on my temperament, you know?
I know, but that has such a good getting the crew together. Yeah. And so does Armageddon, which we did on our first.
Yeah.
Surprisingly bad CGI helicopter to tanker I was talking about before, like over the ocean. The CGI is really bad, but I didn't even realize the blood is CGI as well.
Yeah.
Bad CGI at that. Okay, here's maybe my biggest contention, but we'll get it out of the way now. The first civilization built the temple under the ice of Antarctica. Antarctica has been under ice for 34 million years. Humans have been around for maybe 100,000 years.
Yeah.
So they built the temple about 39,900,000 years before we existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The 33 million, that is. I don't know why I said 39. But you get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get the point.
Yeah, so that doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
Here's my problem with Lance Henriksen. He plays Wayland, and Wayland is the android from Aliens, and this is an unneeded issue.
Yeah. No, I read about this. So apparently all the Alien franchise movies were in the far future, and all of the androids were based off of the founder of the company. That's why they resembled him.
Oh.
It's bad. It's really bad.
There's this thing called exposition they could have explained that with. I guess.
Basically, they explained it like, what if like in the late future all Apple devices had what's his name? Steve Jobs as like the narrator.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, all right, that's fine. It's I don't know, it's just kind of filling in the gaps unnecessarily.
It is. It really is saying like, well, this is what we meant after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that. It's like how people like write emails to the author of books when they figure out problems, like J.K. Rowling of the Harry Potter series gets this all the time, and they're like, well, how did you do this magic trick when clearly this kind of like, plant isn't allowed to transform or, whatever. And she's just like, I don't know, just like make something up that appeals to you. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I wrote the books, I don't care.
Have you ever seen, it's a Comic-Con footage, or it's some sort of panel at like Comic-Con or like some sort of science fiction convention. And like William Shatner is like on the panel, and someone's like, in episode 2F47 9X, when such and such happens with this, that, and the other thing, like, how do you explain that? And Shatner's like, it's a fucking TV show. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Seriously. All right. We're not concerned about the sudden disappearance of the 1904 crew at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they show up and they're like, yeah, the 1904 crew. There was like 30 people. They all just mysteriously disappeared. Let's go under this hole they drilled.
Yeah.
Jump scare penguin? First I've seen it.
Yeah, probably
I've
first
never
time.
seen Mr. Popper's Penguins, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Weird Predator loadout scene. And it's like Batman style. You remember Batman and Robin when they show them like getting all their equipment and their utility belt and stuff? So I thought it would be really funny if they zoomed in on the Predator's ass at the end.
The only reason they did that in Batman and Robin's because if they could show Batman and Robin's butts when they're suiting up, then they could show Alicia Silverstone's later, right?
Yes, that's exactly why. But how funny would that be if they zoomed in on the Predator's ass? And there's like little pincers. There's little pincers on it, like its mouth. Are Predator ships always hovering over Earth? I mean, it's been 100 years since the last time they came down. So why were they so close? Or maybe they can time travel or something.
I don't know. That's a good point.
I just don't know. Like the temple defrosting the alien mother was the sign that they got that like the whole thing is going to start. So how did they? Yeah. I don't know why they were aware in the first place that the people were at the temple now. Thermal mapping 3D rendering of the temple, just like whatever, just fucking stupid.
It to me that removed the suspense because like as an audience, like as someone in the audience, you're knowing what's coming, what's to come. Where like it takes out the element of surprise that like would have made this a little more compelling by knowing like they're zeroing in on them in this chamber right here.
I guess that all seemed the whole first half and all the stuff leading into the actual battle of the aliens and predators just took me right out. It just seemed too forced.
I think that was the third element of the jigsaw that you were putting together earlier, Bob, where you were saying that character development is important and you have to half and half that with Alien versus Predator, because if you have too much of either, audiences aren't going to be happy. But you also have to have enough exposition so that it makes sense that the aliens and predators would be fighting with humans in a temple somewhere. And all of that tornadoing together makes a terrible, terrible movie. If it was a couple movies together, maybe I don't know. Maybe they could have put it all together, but who cares? It really was just so that teenage boys can go to the theater and watch an alien and a predator fight.
You know what? This movie would have been well served by like a Star Wars style title summary.
Yeah,
and then also an epilogue card, just saying because at the end it's just they kind of blew up Antarctica entirely.
Yeah,
the whole continent, and then they never say no one questioned that. This kind of this kind of glossed over that whole nuking of a continent.
Right.
Right.
We probably should have put a nice little bow on that somehow.
I feel like scientists of today would be aware that there was some kind of nuclear explosion in Antarctica 30 or 2,000 years ago. That's when they dug the hole the first time.
Right.
Or that's when they built the temple or whatever. They would have been aware of that. Anyway, you might ask why all the exploded chests when you're in the ceremony room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assembly line egg distribution or whatever. I wrote something very dumb. I just realized that I wrote assembly line egg assembly.
Well, the whole pyramid shifting thing is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is. What powers it?
They asked that question in the movie, going well, there's got to be a generator or something. But they never answered it.
Well, then he goes to the whole it's metric. I'm it's metric. That's a human measurement. These are aliens, and even if not, they do the whole it's 10 minutes. I'm minutes is a human Earth measurement of time.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Everybody knows when you use metric, you use kiloseconds, right? Isn't that how you do it in metric?
Yeah. But did we have that issue with Battlefield Earth that was hours and days, or was that something else?
No, that was they messed up the time in Battlefield Earth quite a bit.
Yeah. When the two cyclos are betting on how long Barry Pepper would last without his mask, his breath gas or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm sure that he won't last more than 4 minutes without his breath gas.
What was his name really? Barry Pepper?
No. The actor's name is Barry Pepper. His name was Johnny Goodboy Tyler.
That's right. Yeah. How could I forget?
It's even worse.
Barry Pepper's funnier.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, fair. That's why he made our bad credit names for the episode.
Yeah.
Guy falls down the shaft to live, only to be killed by the predator anyway.
Exactly.
Just watching him fall down that shaft would have been funny. We could have tracked that for a while. That would have been good.
Mm-hmm.
The 10/10/2004 puzzle calendar gun storage archaeology bullshit. Blah. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of said it already, but there you go. I think they think I care about the characters, which I don't. Kind of said that.
Yeah.
Why'd they take AR-15s to the temple if they have no idea what's going on? And to further that point, I thought that based on this, we were going to find out that they secretly worship the predators and xenomorphs or one or the other,
Yeah.
But like Lance Henriksen's character Wayland knew what had happened there because he and his company worship the predators and aliens, and we're going to try to appeal to one of them or something. That might have been better. Because then you're oh, how could you? If you had disgust for a character like that.
They had
might have been better.
They had access to some sort of energy source that they were trying to harness for their company, and he was trying to like make a deal with them to like be able to use it for earthly applications or something.
Yeah, that would be good too. I was thinking just reverence for the power and thinking that they can, convince the Predator to have a beer with them at the end of the end of the arena games. And then you're like, oh no, this is really stupid because you're gonna die anyway. And then they do die, and then you're like, now we're all dying because of your stupidity. Like something like that.
Earthly applications. That's got to go in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Got it.
And yeah, so I don't understand the smaller mouth inside of the mouth. There's less room to get food down, but then do they even eat? Because you never see them eat.
The aliens?
Yeah, the small mouth inside the mouth, like it's it's creative, but it's not practical.
It looks cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Like their arms can reach much further than their extra mouth can.
It's like they invented that in the earliest movie, and then they wanted to like capitalize on it now. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's a xenomorph quality that people thought were cool. It was cool then, and really the only reason that they came up with it was because they wanted the alien to be able to get close, but not reach her. And then you're shocked when the extra mouth comes out and like jumps out. You know what I mean? And all of that created the extra mouth thing. That's dumb, in my opinion. A predator kicks her, Alexa, from the floor to a wall. She's laying down, kicks her in the stomach or ribs. No broken ribs, no internal bleeding, nothing like that. She's fine. It's also a bit like Pacific Rim, these giant things battling me to boredom. If the camera shakes when the predator runs, then there's a camera.
Yeah. That's like End of Watch, the found footage cop movie we did.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Where it's like all of a sudden it's like, but wait, there has to be a crew on the roof, like filming that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
With the gang filming their criminal exploits.
Yeah, making TikToks or whatever.
Yeah. Moral predators giving free X-ray tests.
Yeah. The lungs, right?
Yeah. And then Waylon has the gall to shoot him with like fire after that.
Yeah.
Xenomorphs sure like to startle, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
They
do.
do.
Really do. They like to come up on you and then snarl, and as soon as you find out you're dead. Team up time between Alexa and Predator. Cool. He would never do that. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Right.
One ugly motherfucker line callback.
Yep.
Why would the... Yeah.
Bob mentioned it with the second mouth, how they're capitalizing on it. I feel like I don't normally feel patronized by movies, but like I could see people sitting around a table going like, we gotta do the ugly motherfucker thing. We've gotta have the second mouth come out. We've gotta like
have the acid blood.
Gotta have the chest explosion. Like people love this shit. We gotta do it again. And it's like,
exactly.
Just because it was great in its first iteration doesn't mean it's gonna be great just rehashing it. Because like if you have like some semblance of intelligence, like it's just like you're trying to pander a little bit because we liked this thing when you could have spent a little bit of energy just like doing something cool that may be referenced years from now because you did something cool, not because you're just like riding on the coattails.
Yeah,
that's my biggest problem
100%.
with this movie. It took me out of it because it's like, how do they know? How do they know that they said ugly motherfucker? They weren't connected to those people at all.
Right.
Just by happenstance. Yeah.
It is by happenstance. Yeah. She just happened to. Yeah, it is fourth wall breaking.
Yeah. It is.
It's not the most egregious like running through the wall that I've ever seen, but it is, and it sucks when they do that. Why would the sled climb up the shaft at 150 miles an hour?
That was awesome.
Seems a little dangerous. Slow motion explosion escape trope. There you go. There's another one.
Oh, so much.
Yeah. The mom is so idiotically big that it makes the final fight sequence almost humorous, in my opinion. Like, there's parts where she's, like, standing next to a building, and she's like, ah! And, like, she's way bigger than the building. It almost looks like claymation or something. It just looks really dumb. But speaking of unintentional comedy, the Predator stretcher was really funny at the end.
Yeah.
When like 4 predators come out with like the soccer stretcher thing, you know, where they put the soccer player on it and carry him off. Yeah, they're back up the ramp. And then the king, like super whiskered predator old man guy, gives her the like the spear she doesn't know how to operate. Like, yeah, that's pretty awesome. You guys want to mention anything before we go to the alternate ending?
You go first, Bob, but I got one too.
My only thing is the xenomorphs, the eggs, like when the little creatures come out of the eggs.
Yeah.
How do they leap across a room? Like, what is the propulsion? Like, I understand when maybe they're like their legs can jump from like a short distance in the first movie, but this one, I mean, give me a fucking break.
Yeah, they do go a whole room. Yeah.
Like the standing long jump we used to do in track and field.
Yes.
Like, but they've been doing it like the whole time they were in the egg.
Yeah, you guys, you guys ever
egg squeezed them out?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Have you guys ever seen like a live birth on like any like a GIF of a live like giraffe birth or elephant birth or anything? They can't walk. Like you've never been scrolling through some social media and it's like, oh, look at the beautiful birth of this baby elephant. Anyway, they can't walk. A lot of them can't see. It's like,
Chris, stop trying to excuse the fact that you're watching live animal births on YouTube.
Nat Geo over here.
All right. For fear of making the joke that I enjoy that kind of thing and then getting clipped and having that used against me for an entire season, I'm not going to make that joke. Instead,
I like dongs.
Instead, I'm going to point out that the eggs open themselves, and that bothers me while we're on the subject of eggs.
Yeah.
Like that, all 4 corners like unfurl when they know the time.
Very fair. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Rob, what's your thing?
Waylon. Oh my God, I'm having an asthma attack. Everybody else, let's run up all of these stairs really, really fast.
Yeah,
that'll do you good.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You right? You good?
Yeah, I do think I thought of that as well. Yeah.
All right, Rob, your alternate ending, please, in the last one.
Okay. I'll do one for the good movie, episode 2.
Oh, okay, cool. Rob's alternate ending. Oh yeah.
I was thinking instead of like it was just a working hypothesis that the whole thing was based on a metric system, but they're crawling through a tunnel because they, the 10-minute thing just switched, but then like turns out it's the imperial system, but it's also got like other subsets on it, and they all just get like sliced in half, and then the movie ends.
Oh no, it was feet. It was supposed to be measured in a feet.
For a real alternate ending, though, is like I would have liked to see an epilogue card, like saying like what like there were no survivors when after this expedition. Like they don't explain anything at all.
No,
they leave it open for the sequel, like everything else.
Yes,
they chest pop out, and then
we're
supposed to go, "Oh, that was cool," and then like
Oh no, these predators are in big trouble. There's one.
This is the first movie I've had like strong feelings about, as far as like me not liking it. Like
you did seem to hate this one.
Piece of shit.
It was bad. I agree.
And the original ones had better special effects. We're talking like the late 70s, early 80s. You watch the 2004 iteration, and you're like, this doesn't look as good.
Yeah,
and then you watch the old
one,
a good point. And you're like,
you
watch the old one after you clip from the old one after you watch this movie, and you're like, that looks way better.
It's very true. Good point.
That was not a no fact.
Yeah.
Bad credit names.
Cool.
Bad credit names, like.
I'm Harvey Manfred Johnson.
Lenka Rock.
Okay.
Lenka Rock. Lenka Rock. Ian Speed.
Okay.
It's almost I Am Speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost.
Craig Cheeseman. Didn't expect that much.
If you're heating up to something better than that, I'll be surprised because that's
there's a couple. Well, you know, there's one.
Yeah.
Brooke Brooks.
I love that.
Rolf Henke.
Okay.
Like, just like you can't hold it in, and somebody like oh, you got to puke, and they just hand you a handkerchief. Like really weird. This one's really weird. Non Jones. N-O-N.
Right.
Udo Smutney.
Okay.
Smutney.
Yeah. Tom Goodenough.
No way.
Yeah, swear to God. Spelled exactly that way. Tom Goodenough.
Wow.
All right. Well, because you already know about this one, it's going to be second to last.
Right.
Hugh Johnson.
I never read the credit names, but like I just happened to walk by the TV when that flashed, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah." Honest to goodness, Hugh Johnson. Well, the winner though, Thomas Wanker.
Oh, poor guy.
I think Cheeseman might be in the rankings though.
You like Craig Cheeseman?
Craig Cheeseman.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is definitely. All right, let's compare the movies.
All right.
Time to compare the movies. Time to compare the movies.
All right.
Gigli. I think that's how you pronounced it. And AVP.
I forgot that Gigli beat out Battlefield.
It did. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so offensive.
Even Joe Montana couldn't have saved it. I'm never gonna let that die because I'm so embarrassed for myself.
No, but he can win Super Bowls though.
Yeah.
All right, worst of its kind. Gigli, a negative 63, which was 10 worse. I think I remember from than Battlefield with a negative 53. Negative 47.4 and worst of its kind for AVP, which is a great score, but it does not surpass Gigli, and that makes sense to me. Rob, you had a 4-star, but you lost to me this week with a little Chris foolery, but I scored a 3.75, so really you're the victor, and Gigli takes that one as well.
Okay.
We will get to what's more offensive in our mini game afterwards, but dialogue.
Oh, we know.
Yeah. Dialogue-wise, I'm going to go Gigli. I found it way funnier for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I agree. There wasn't enough dialogue in AVP to contest.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Production. Would you rather have a movie... Well, I guess I shouldn't ask it that way. What's worse? Better original ending for Gigli. The one where Gigli dies, and that would have made the movie much, much better. Or for AVP, a PG-13 Alien movie. Alien franchise movie.
I'm going to Alien on this one.
I'm going Alien on this one too because
I agree.
That this goes into the pandering and the patronize, like how patronizing it is, because like they're going for mass appeal, and like the quality of the movie suffered because they kind of like leaned into the old properties too much without taking any liberties of their own because they wanted to like move units.
Totally fair.
Agreed.
Acting, I'm actually going AVP as well, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. Do you guys have any specific demerits?
Bob,
what was I feel like you gave demerit last week for Gigli in like.
Oh shoot! You're right. I did.
All of the bad language or something.
It wasn't the bad language. It was shoot! But you're right. There was something from Gigli. I forget what it was.
Oh wait, was it? No. Okay. I thought it was something it's not. All right. Well, do you guys want to forget the demerit section because it doesn't really matter anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. We'll get back to it because it might.
All right.
It might. That is, if AVP is more offensive than Gigli, and we'll get to the offensive minigame right now.
The offensive
minigame.
Right, let's do this.
Okay. I don't know. Simulating psych ward or sexy spine study.
Psych ward.
Psych ward.
I agree. Dead dude thumb thievery. Or I forgot I wrote this. Hold on one sec. Goo gripping humans for hatchery.
I'm gonna go with
considering a different race is taking our bodies for hatchery, I feel like that's more acceptable in terms of what do you call that? Or order of like
it's part of their like genetic coding to propagate the species.
Yeah.
Whereas like one is breaking into a morgue and cutting someone's thumb off with a butter knife.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see that we're going with thumb
Gigli
thievery over gripping. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Bonus round.
Okay.
Uncute kids for AVP, or Gigli receives Ricky's Jigglies.
Yes, Gigli receives.
Gigli receives. That's a clean sweep.
Yeah, it was. No surprise there. So a 4-2 victory. I mean, demerits don't matter, and we'd have to do some work to think of them anyway. So 4-2. Gigli is the worst movie of the season, and rightfully so. Next week, we are watching Tremors.
Yeah.
This one is one that we all agreed on. It very nicely sends us into what we're calling our B movie season. That doesn't mean that we're going to be going with movies you've never heard of, although there might be a couple. We're going to go with slightly more low-budget movies, the movies that are supposed to be the second feature, a B feature, and a double feature, not the main event, but helps you get your money worth when you buy a double feature ticket.
This whole season was us getting our great expectations dashed and sent down to a spiral of disappointment, whereas now we're going to look at things that you may have gone into going like, it might have some promise. Like it'll go either way, but it's going to go specifically one way because we're reviewing the bad ones.
Yeah.
That's the truth. All right. Well, Rob, plug us, and then we'll give Bob the last word.
Sure. www.theworstmovieevermade.com. Everything's there. Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Google Play, Apple, email. And you can find all our stuff there. Bob does trailers every week that go in line with our episode releases. We have our episodes go live every Wednesday morning, super early, or Tuesday night, however you want to see it. And then the video version on YouTube of those episodes comes the following Sunday. So you get like a little double dip. You have your drive time version of the podcast, but if you want to sit on the couch, throw on some light background music and watch us in the flesh, you get that version on Sunday.
Yeah, in the flesh.
Yeah.
Our flesh on screen for you.
Long live the new flesh.
Long live. Oh my God, that's a great movie.
Videodrome, yeah, dude.
The new flesh. Also a good Fear Factory song.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, Fear Factory. Okay, I would go with last words. First of all, you can wear your ass for a hat.
Mm-hmm.
And the Dead Milkman.
Hey, Dead Milkman.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I was telling Bob before you joined us, Chris, because you had your difficulties with the technical stuff. I like it when bands break up for like 20 years and then they come back together and then they're like write the album of their career. And I like the Thug Life too. That's very nice.
Yeah, it's Peter Dinklage on the scooter.
Seriously?
Yeah, it really is.
And I've got Rocco and Smokey. That was
I just heard. Yeah, it's Peter Dinklage on the scooter.
All right. So Tremors next week. Fun fact about sequels, I've never seen Tremors. I've seen Tremors 3. So this should be interesting.
All right, cool.
It was on TV one day.
You'll like it. As always, thanks for listening. We love you guys. Bye.
See you guys next week.
See you. Good night.
I don't know how I fucked up getting that clip. The 3-minute clip.
Yes, 3 minutes.
Ugh.
That's all right. I did it once.
Yeah.
I think it was the last Airbender.
Yeah. All right, that's a wrap.